Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and this time, we have a build specifically built for the Turbo Duel Grand Prix. Now, what is the Turbo Duel Grand Prix? Well, basically, it's a lot like Ranked, except this time, you're actually turbo dueling, which means you get these extra skills based on your speed counter, right? Now, first and foremost, before I even get into the deck list, I want to talk about the speed spell Black Rose that we are using and why we are using this. It's for change the battle position of an opponent's monster, select a monster you control until the end of the turn. It can attack each monster your opponent controls one time, and select one monster you control. It will be able to inflict piercing damage until the end of turn. So with those three, we have a really great way of dealing damage with our main card, our main boss monster, Mighty Warrior. It's a new card that just came out with this event. Mighty Warrior, basically a 2200 level 6 beater that has a mediocre effect when it inflicts battle damage, when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflicts damage to your opponent equal to half the destroyed monster's original attack. This isn't inherently great, however, I did actually end up getting the victory through grit because of that effect. So, there you go. It does have kind of a purpose, but most of the time it was just a mediocre beat stick, right? But because of the Turbo Duel dynamic, this is why it works, right? So if you want to play this deck, hop on it quickly. It's really fun. It kind of tends to... It's very OTK focused, right? So let's first talk about the skill. We're running What Grows in the Graveyard. At the beginning of the duel, add a Dark Verger to the graveyard, right? That, along with Angel Trumpeter, gives you a very easy level 6. You just play Angel Trumpeter, and then boom, you got a level 6. You can go into any of these level 6 monsters. These are the ones that I ended up using. You could throw in any level 6 if you have Brionac. Use Brionac. It's insanely good. I don't have it, but if you have it, use it, right? Then you could also go into your Vermilion Dragon Mech or your Stardust Spark Dragon using your second tuner of the deck, which is Psy Reflector. Both of these cards are one card synchros, right? That's why we're running them. The rest of the cards are basically just to help facilitate that, right? So what you're going to want to do is, hopefully, if you're going first, you're going to want to summon up your Archfiend's Call. Archfiend's Call can't be targeted. Basically, that's what it is. You summon it, can't be targeted, and it's 2500 on the field. Pretty difficult to kind of get rid of, right? Then, if you go second, you're going to want to summon up your Mighty Warrior, right? And hopefully you have either a Rush Warrior, a Concentrating Current, or a Power of the Guardians, or something like that within your hand to help boost up your Mighty Warrior, so that when he attacks, he can get over whatever it is that he needs to, or he can inflict piercing damage, or what have you, right? In order to effectively deal either a ton of damage or deal all of the damage, right? To end off the player, right? So, that's basically what you're going for on the first turn, right? You summon up your either Psy Reflector in order to grab up your Assault Beast and then use your Assault Mode Activate in order to summon it back from the graveyard, or you summon your Angel Trumpeter, grab up the Dark Verger in the graveyard, level 6 synchro, boom. Both one-card combos, pretty freaking effective. Then we have Cosmic Cyclone because back row is highly detrimental to this deck. So obviously we're going to run triple Cosmic Cyclone. If you have Night Beam, run Night Beam instead of the Fiendish Chain or something like that, right? Now, with that being said, we also have a very important card, Painful Decision. Painful Decision is you send one level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then add one card with the same name as that card from your deck to your hand. So what you do is you Painful Decision, you send one of your Angel Trumpeters to grab up one of your Angel Trumpeters. Pretty effective. level 6 synchro. Boom. Done and done. Now, if you have more of this, play more of this. And get rid of the side reflector. Right? You don't need it. If you have more painful decision, just focus on the Angel Trumpeter, go into level 6 synchros, and then add more back row and more back row destruction, right? However, if you want to be a little bit more consistent with synchro summoning and allow yourself more synchros, for example, your Spark Stardust Dragon, or Stardust Spark Dragon and your Vermilion Dragon Mech, go for the Side Reflector. Okay? Then we have Rush Warrior. Why do we have this guy? Well, because if a Warrior Synchro Monster, not a Warrior type Synchro Monster, right? But a Synchro Monster that specifically has Warrior in the name, battles an opponent's monster, you can send this card from the hand to the graveyard. Your battling monster's attack becomes double its current attack during the damage calculation only, right? So it's only good for one attack, but it's still pretty good. You play it, you know, you have your Mighty Warrior out on the field, then you swing in to a defense position monster with the piercing damage, and you activate Rush Warrior, and now all of a sudden you're dealing, you know, you have over 4,000 attack, right? Along with that, we have Concentrating Current to, again, boost up more attack, to just hit real hard with those finishing moves, right? You could deal over 6,000 damage into a 2,000 attack target, so really good. Concentrating Current, absolutely wonderful. And it's limited to 2, so you're only going to get 2 anyway, right? You only need 2. Then we have Power of the Guardian, just to be a little bit more consistent, so that we have a little bit more protection on the field, as well as higher attacks, since most of our cards aren't really that strong, and there are a lot of cards currently in the meta that are a little bit bigger. So, there's the deck. Let's hop into some replays. Alright guys, so here we are up against Jack Atlas, and all I have to say is a lot of these are just OTKs. Like, I just attack in, and they die. And that was how I won a lot of my games. If they didn't just surrender, then I was just OTKing them by opening up a phenomenal hand like this. Rush Warrior, Concentrating Current, Painful Decision, boom, a level 6 synchro into a defense position monster, 100%. We have lethal here, right? Now, he has grit. We have to keep that in mind. He has grit. He's not going to die. So, what are we going to go for? Well, we're going to go for our boss monster, Mighty Warrior, right? Mighty Warrior hits the field. We're going to set this card just in case. We're going to send the Assault Beast just in case. We're going to activate Black Rose, our ability, which allows us to inflict piercing battle damage. So then we're going to activate our Concentrating Current, which will boost up to 4,200. Then we are going to activate Rush Warrior. Rush Warrior is going to boost up to 8,000, over 8,000 attack, 8,400 attack, doubling our attack, right? We're going to swing in to the Super Heavy Samurai Giga Gloves, right? Giga Gloves is going to activate in response, or after our chain of our effect going off, which is to inflict the piercing battle damage. Or not the piercing, but the half of the opponent's original attack. So, what ended up happening is we attack in, we deal lethal damage, he survives with grit, it goes to the graveyard, it activates its effect, we activate our effect, it activates its effect, chain happens. Once it resolves, our effect resolves, he has 0 life points, we deal 50 damage to the 1. So that's what happened there. Pretty interesting. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so welcome back. Here we are up against Callan Kessler. Once again, we get to go second. So they're going to play Dragoonity. Dragoonity is going first, allow them to get clear up into their Ascalon, which is insanely strong. Why is Ascalon so strong? Well, I'll show you as soon as he comes out. Ascalon, 3,300 beater. We're not going to talk about anything else. We're just going to talk about Ascalon. And then, you can banish a Dragoonity monster from your graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls, banish it. If this synchro summon monster in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, you can special summon a Dragoonity synchro monster with 3,000 or less attack from your extra deck, right? it can bring itself back pretty easily, because what it does is it will summon up your Barcha, and then Barcha will activate its effects to bring back another level 2 tuner, which will then summon itself to bring back Ascalon, right? Insanely difficult to deal with if they get up into Ascalon, right? Plus it can banish an opponent's monster. It's 4,000 attack now with Dragoonity Divine Lance, but guess what? We have our level 6, along with a Rush Warrior, and a Cosmic Cyclone. So let's go with our own turn. We draw into a Concentrating Current, which is even better. So we're just going to do our combo. He has nothing to interrupt us. He can't play on our turn. So we're going to go Mighty Warrior. Then we're going to activate the Concentrating Current. Then we are going to activate the Rush Warrior and deal 5,000 damage over a 3,000 attack monster. Insanely good. Concentrating Current is nuts. So is Rush Warrior. This deck is so fun to play. If you get this combo, it's so fun to just be like, oh, during the battle phase, I'm gonna activate this, or like during the damage step, I'm gonna activate this, and then during damage calculation, I'm gonna activate this, and you're dead. And they don't even see it coming because they can't respond to it anyway. Really fun. Let's hop into the next one. Alright guys, so here we are in the mirror match. It's Akiza versus Akiza. Let's go. We have What Grows in the Graveyard, and another thing is I do not see nearly enough people playing this skill in the turbo duels, and so I think a lot more people need to be playing this, because level 6 synchroing or just synchroing with Dark Verger is super useful. So play this skill if you can, alright? So they're going to set a card. That is their biggest mistake. We open up the Dark Verger Angel Trumpeter combo. Mighty Warrior comes on to the field. We're going to activate Black Rose. Black Rose is then going to activate, allowing us to deal piercing damage. Then we boost up with Rush Warrior and swing in to a pretty good set card. Raikou, Lightsworn Hunter, really good. What it does is flip effect. You activate them simultaneously. You destroy a card on the field. Doesn't target. And you send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. But guess what? It doesn't matter. We deal 4,000 piercing damage like that. Boom. Done and done. Game over. Next duel. Now, real quick, as we get into this one, we're facing off against Officer Tetsu Trudge. A lot of people are playing Shiranui right now, right? And what's so good about this deck is we didn't open up a great hand, right? Concentrating Current, Fiendish Chain, Cosmic Cyclone, not great. Don't have a synchro. We're just kind of stuck there, right? Doesn't really matter. It's just not gonna matter. This man's playing Yoshinju Sword Sting along with a freaking Kiteroid that he had set on the field. Really weird. We're gonna send another card, Cosmic Cyclone. We're gonna Cosmic Cyclone another Yoshinju Sword Sting. Insanely good Cosmic Cycloning. We're gonna set the Rush Warrior just because we do want protection from the Kiteroid. We don't want the Kiteroid consistently poking us. We Fiendish Chain the Yoshinju Kama too. Not gonna activate. Gonna stay on the field. Right? We have 12 counters. We're gonna finally draw into a tuner. We're gonna finally get into that level 6 synchro of the Mighty Warrior. Now, I want to talk real quick about Black Rose. The 3 things that I said: you can change a battle position, you can inflict piercing damage, and you can have your monster, the one monster you control, attack every monster your opponent controls once, right? So we're going to use this last one here, but against Shiranui in particular, you can change their battle position and then inflict piercing damage. And so this deck is really good. A lot of times, a Shiranui player will not open up a great hand, so they'll set a card thinking they're safe, and then you'll go, okay, I'm going to summon up Mighty Warrior, and then I'm going to Rush Warrior you along with this piercing battle damage, and now I've dealt lethal damage. Now, with that being said, this guy has 5,000 health. So what we're going to do, we're going to Black Rose. He can attack everything once. We're going to Concentrating Current. Piercing battle damage along with that. We did use both of them. We used the piercing battle damage as well as the attack every monster. And then we're just going to swing in. He has the Sujik. Doesn't matter. Still deal lethal damage. Boom and boom. Let's hop back into the deck review. 1 second. Alright. Talking about this deck, realistically, is it good? No. It's alright. It's nothing great, but it's not bad, right? It's really, really fun to play in the Turbo Duels. This is one of the most fun decks I think I've played. I really enjoy the Turbo Duel aspect. I really enjoy just playing a lot of synchros. I do love synchro summoning. It's one of my favorite summoning conditions. It may be the most difficult, but it's also the most enjoyable. So, there's that. Now, with that being said, were I to take this into an actual, like, ranked game, it wouldn't make sense. This card, Mighty Warrior, isn't very good, right? Yes, it's good in turbo dueling because of its effect and the fact that you can deal piercing battle damage, but in an actual ranked duel, are you gonna see this card? No. Not in Legend, not in King of Games, not in anything like that. Yeah, it's kind of memey, and I really enjoy that, but overall, it's still just kind of meh. If you were going to change out this deck, obviously, add more painful decisions if you can. Add more back row hate if you can. Like, if you have 3 painful decisions, you could take out these cards. And you could take out these cards. Right? And then this is kind of the basics. Add more painful decision. Add more back row hate. Add more, you know, what have you, right? If you want to add your Wall of Disruption, or your Floodgate, or your Drowning Sphere Karibo, anything like that, add it. Right, this is the core of the deck. Obviously, you'd have hopefully more painful decisions, but that's what you're kind of looking for. It's super fun. I really enjoy it, and I hope that you guys do too. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy this episode, and if you did, a like is very much so appreciated. If you want to see more content like this, as well as, well, just hopefully more Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.